Welcome to our in-depth look at one of the most dangerous and common cyber threats in today's digital world. Man in the Middle, MITM attacks. Today we'll dive deep into what these attacks are, how they work, real-world examples, and most importantly, how to protect yourself and your network from becoming a victim. Chapter 1. What is a man-in-the-middle attack? Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a man-in-the-middle attack? A man-in-the-middle attack, or MITM, occurs when a hacker intercepts and possibly alters the communication between two parties. Imagine you're sending sensitive information like bank account details, login credentials, or even a private message. The attacker positions themselves between you and the intended recipient, eavesdropping or even manipulating the data as it's being transmitted. Think of it like this. You send a letter to someone. On the way, a stranger intercepts the letter, reads it, changes some details, and then passes it on to the recipient, who has no idea the letter was tampered with. Chapter 2. Types of man-in-the-middle attacks. MITM attacks come in various forms, each with a specific method of intercepting data. Let's break down the most common types. 1. IP spoofing. In IP spoofing, attackers disguise themselves as trusted entities by altering the source IP address in a communications session. This can trick a target into thinking they're communicating with a legitimate service, when in reality they're talking to the attacker. 2. DNS spoofing. Next is DNS spoofing. This type of attack occurs when an attacker corrupts the domain name system, DNS cache, redirecting you to a fraudulent website even though the URL you typed in was correct. 3. HTTPS spoofing. HTTPS spoofing is when an attacker creates a fake SSL certificate to make a fraudulent website appear secure. This can easily trick users into entering sensitive information on a malicious site. 4. Wi-Fi eavesdropping. One of the most common forms of MITM attacks today happens over public Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi eavesdropping involves hackers intercepting data transmitted over unsecured or poorly secured wireless networks. 5. Session hijacking. In session hijacking, attackers take over a user's session after they've logged in by stealing session cookies. This allows them to impersonate the user and perform actions in their place. 6. SSL stripping. SSL stripping is a more sophisticated attack where the hacker downgrades a secure HTTPS connection to HTTP, allowing them to intercept sensitive information transmitted between two parties. Chapter 3. How MITM attacks work. The process. Now that we've covered the types of MITM attacks, let's dive into the actual process of how these attacks work. There are 3 main phases of a man-in-the-middle attack: interception, decryption, and manipulation. 1. Interception. First, the attacker needs to intercept the communication between the two parties. This can be done using various techniques, such as ARP spoofing, DNS spoofing, or simply by being connected to the same public network. 2. Decryption. Once the communication is intercepted, if the data is encrypted ahead, the attacker needs to decrypt it. They can do this through methods like SSL stripping, where they downgrade the connection from HTTPS to HTTP, or by using stolen encryption keys. 3. Manipulation. Finally, the attacker can manipulate the data. They may change the content of messages, redirect funds in financial transactions, or even plant malware. Chapter 4. Real-world examples of MITM attacks. Let's take a look at some real-world examples of man-in-the-middle attacks. 1. Equifax data breach. In 2017, the Equifax breach exposed the personal data of 143 million Americans. While the exact details involved multiple vulnerabilities, MITM attacks were believed to play a role in intercepting sensitive communications. 2. Public Wi-Fi attacks. Many people have fallen victim to MITM attacks while using public Wi-Fi. Hackers set up rogue access points or intercept traffic on legitimate networks to steal personal information. Chapter 5. Tools used in MITM attacks. Cybercriminals use various tools to carry out MITM attacks. Here are a few commonly used ones. 1. Wireshark. Wireshark is a powerful network protocol analyzer that can capture and inspect data being transmitted across a network. 2. Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel is a popular tool for password recovery, but it's also used for ARP spoofing and cracking encrypted passwords. 3. Ettercap. Ettercap is designed for man-in-the-middle attacks on LANs, and it can intercept and log traffic while also modifying data in transit. Chapter 6. MITM Prevention Strategies. Now let's talk about prevention. How can you protect yourself from MITM attacks? Here are some essential strategies. 1. Use HTTPS everywhere. Always ensure that websites you visit use HTTPS. If a website doesn't have that little padlock icon in the address bar, don't enter any personal information. 2. Avoid public Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi networks are a hotspot for MITM attacks. Avoid using them for sensitive transactions, or, at the very least, use a VPN. 3. Use a VPN, virtual private network. A VPN encrypts all of your internet traffic, making it much harder for hackers to intercept and read your data, even if you're on an insecure network. 4. Two-factor authentication. Enable two-factor authentication on all of your accounts. This adds an extra layer of protection even if an attacker steals your credentials. 5. Keep software updated. Regularly update your operating system, browsers, and other software. Security patches often fix vulnerabilities that could be exploited by attackers. Chapter 7. Advanced MITM Prevention for Businesses. For businesses, the stakes are even higher. Here are some advanced prevention methods to protect your organization. 1. Strong network encryption. Ensure that your network uses strong encryption protocols like WPA3 for wireless networks and TLS 1.3 for web communications. 2. DNS Domain Name System Security Extensions. DNS SEC protects against DNS spoofing by verifying the authenticity of DNS queries. 3. Intrusion Detection Systems, IDS. Use intrusion detection systems to monitor your network for unusual activity or signs of a potential MITM attack. 4. Public key pinning. Public key pinning ensures that only a specific, authorized certificate can be used for a website, preventing attackers from using a fake SSL certificate. And that's a wrap on our comprehensive guide to man-in-the-middle attacks and how to prevent them. We've covered what MITM attacks are, the various types, real-world examples, and most importantly, the steps you can take to protect yourself and your organization. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more cybersecurity content, and share this video with anyone who could benefit from learning more about these dangerous cyber threats.